The goal today is to restore some lost volume in her face. She has a little bit of some what we call jowling. I'll just sit up just a minute, Cindy. And then she has a little loss of volume. The reason we get these deeper nasolabial folds, people call them their puppet lines, their marionette lines, is because the cheek tends to slip down a little bit. So you actually have a little flattening of the cheek here. So the goal today is to go restore some of that lost volume. It'll actually lift that nasolabial fold, and she'll have more of an apple to her cheek. And believe it or not, it'll actually lift here this lower pre-jowl area. So we'll restore some volume there using some dermal fillers. We'll come back, we'll touch up some of the creasing that occurs from that fold hanging there for some time. So it's just smooth it out. But once again, we like to preserve the contours. Actually, we're going to create more contours back to where they used to be. She tends to pull a little bit in the corners of her mouth, so we're going to restore a little volume there. This is sort of a classic area for people to lose volume. We're going to restore a little bit of volume in there. And we may even add a little tiny bit of Botox there to help so she doesn't pull down quite so strongly there. Those depressor muscles are really pulling down on her. We're going to restore a little volume to the lips just because she lacks a little glamorous look and she loves those little lippies done, so we're going to do that. We'll come back, we'll do a little bit of Botox to her forehead to give her a little bit of a brow lift. And we might, she's a work in progress, so we may kind of change our thoughts as we move along. We may decide to add a little bit of filler here to the brow to give that a lift. That's an option. Maybe even add a little filler down here to give her a nice clean line. But we start with the filler, we start in the mid-face, and then we work our way down. So Stacy and I are going to be restoring some of this volume. We're going to actually start in the cheek area. We like to start high and then work our way down.
That way it lifts everything.
And then oftentimes we need less down in this area because then you have that, as Stacy pointed out, you have that lift.
So it automatically pulls it up then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because with gravity, our faces head south because we want the lift. So I'm going to be taking this off.
And Joanne, in each section, when you're done with the cheeks and the needle's not in my face, can we stop and I look?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You're a part of the team.
All right.
Always a part of the team. What Stacy's doing is actually mixing this particular product with a little bit of lidocaine to make it more comfortable for you. Even though we've cleaned off the topical lidocaine, it helps to make it a little bit, inject a little easier and numb as we go along. So it should be very, very comfortable for you.
And this is the radiance that you're putting in now?
We're using the radius. We're going to put that
radius,
first.
Okay.
And that'll help Stacy where she wants to be. I'm feeling your bony structure. See, by doing this, I know where it ends.
Okay.
You don't go anywhere near that.
Okay.
Mid-pupil, right here. Thinking as we go. Stacy's watching me. She does the same thing. We know this is. See how much different it is a little bit here on this side. So we just are making observations now as we're looking. Nobody's face is exactly symmetrical, and we recognize that. So we study it as we draw on your face, and we try and achieve some symmetry. Because there's nothing worse than somebody come back saying, well, this side is different than that side. Well, you started off different, and we're just trying to match you up a little bit. So sometimes we might put a tiny bit more maybe here, but maybe on this side we put a tiny bit more over here, just to try and create a little more symmetry.
I'm going to feel a little poke. Just bubbles on the product.
And just do a little direct approach here. Okay. Nice, slow, deep breath. And remember, this also has lidocaine in it. So this is going to numb as it goes.
What are we doing now?
We're doing Juvederm now. Juvederm is a hyaluronic acid. And remember, it's hyaluronic acid is a naturally occurring sugar in the body. So it's very easily tolerated, and it's creamy, dreamy, like Jell-O under the skin.
But the radius is a little firmer.
Yes.
Radius thicker, we think of that as foundation. That's what has given you this lovely lifty. And then the Juvederm, the hyaluronic acid, is what then fills in the creases. I'm going to just come here into the corner of the mouth here just a little bit. Yeah, Stacy's working on the pre-jowl. But already, just from the cheeks, you already see that this is lifting here along the jawline. Have a little tiny bit of swelling, that's normal. You'll ice today.
No, yeah, a little bruising, right?
So far, well, I don't even want to say it. So far you don't have a mark on you, so.
Yeah, where this was just all rippled before, it's like almost totally smoothed out. And then I'm really, once that swelling goes down here, I'm dying to see, it's going to look probably just like that side. There's a little more like redness in that one, but the right side's always more sensitive.
And don't forget, the Botox is gonna, that Stacy just gave you, is gonna do this. And it's also, smile for me, it's also gonna help with some of these lines here around your mouth. So you'll have a little bit more of a lift here.
Right. The jawline is just, it's amazing. Those before and afters. It's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm just completely and totally blown away.